Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Eco Money on Money FM 89.3.
Welcome to Eco Money. Nature plays a vital role in shaping economies, communities, and businesses. But according to a recent study by the Center for Governance and Sustainability at NUS Business School and luxury group Kering, significant gaps remain in how Asia-Pacific companies address nature-related issues. An analysis of 700 companies across 11 industries and 14 Asia-Pacific jurisdictions revealed that while 72% acknowledged issues like water and biodiversity, only 25% considered them material to their business. For more insights on why that's so and what's stopping businesses from investing in nature, we're joined by Professor Lawrence Loh, Director of the Center for Governance and Sustainability at the NUS Business School. Lawrence, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yes, good morning. I'm happy to be here.
It's always great to have you join us, Professor. So let's jump right in, with the big question. What's behind this disconnect? Why are companies acknowledging the importance of nature but stopping short of considering it material to their business strategy?
I think, first of all, is actually the issue of awareness. What is actually nature for business? I think we have to go beyond the simple things like maybe adopting a giraffe in the zoo. That's definitely important, but it's more than that. So I think that the disconnect is basically one in which businesses is actually not cognizant what does it mean, what is, for example, the dependency on their business on natural resources, the impact of their business on ecosystems. So I think this is actually the most fundamental setback.
Okay, so you talked about, awareness there. So let's look at your study, right? You noted some regional differences in nature-related disclosures. Australia led with 68% of companies viewing nature as material, followed by New Zealand at 48%, Singapore and Malaysia both at 42%, and meanwhile, South Korea ranked lowest at 18%. So why the differences here? Are these variations due to policy differences, or would you say they stem more from perceptions within these markets?
I think it is more than just policy or even perception. I think if you look at the place where the business operates in the overall setting, in Australia and New Zealand, maybe they're closer to nature. Maybe you travel to Australia, there are kangaroos, there are koalas. So in terms of what they do, the nexus, the proximity to the natural environment is closer. So actually, it's very not surprising at all. Australia and New Zealand take the lead. But having said that, I think Singapore actually does quite well too in terms of the big company, but probably because they are global. So their interaction with the natural environment for the operation for the product is also a little bit more intense.
Yeah, okay. So nature of operations also does play a big role here. And, just earlier this month, we saw 6 major U.S. banks exit the UN-backed Net Zero Banking Alliance. And this is following years of speculation and the political climate as well surrounding Trump's return to the White House. So, Professor, what are the biggest barriers or gridlocks within financial models that prevent these banks from fully prioritizing nature in their sustainability strategies?
I think, of course, financial models are one. They need to integrate into their financing portfolio, for example. But I think in this instance, it's actually less finance than fear. The fear of legal action. So, for example, when banks or companies get together to talk about climate change, the Republican government in state, they will use the antitrust. They are doing collusion to control supply of, say, fossil fuel energy, or even in terms of investor protection. Certain state governments, which are actually all Republican-led, actually sued many asset management companies for actually investing in ESG without proper permission from their shareholders.
So I think that's a great point. There's also the element of fear and the fear of pushback there. Let's go back to your report now. Also found some mixed progress in nature-related disclosures. Like, as an example, under TNFD's governance pillar, about 50% of companies disclose the role of their boards or management in overseeing nature-related issues. So what do you make of this adoption rate? What might be holding more companies back from implementing governance structures for nature?
Yes, I think besides the awareness issue and the fear issue, I think basically there are just too many things on the plate now for governance, which is the board of directors. They have to take care of alignment or even compliance in climate, in sustainability, in a whole load of issues. So I think nature being new and of course it doesn't come squarely into the radar screen.
Yeah, and let's look at the risk and impact management pillar as well. Only 39% integrated nature-related issues into their overall risk management. So can you tell us more about this? Are we seeing any trends, specific sectors leading the charge here, and are more willing to incorporate nature into their risk assessments? And on the other hand, which industries seem to be more resistant or adverse to it?
Yes, I think if you look at our study, three sectors stand out in terms of their contribution to nature. First is, of course, consumer products. Many of the products, for example, beverages, coffee, tea, it is something that uses the natural resources. The other is materials that include metals, that include construction materials. And third one that's coming up quite well is information technology in terms of hardware and software. So these three sectors actually do very well. And what is surprising is, key sectors, of course, they are doing quite well, but not more than what we expect. For example, real estate and finance, I would expect them to do even better, but they are not probably living up to their expectations.
Okay, so real estate and finance kind of lagging back there. Okay, we've come to the metrics and targets pillar. The numbers are even lower here. Less than 40% disclosed metrics for managing nature-related issues. Only 30% set specific targets. So, of course, this begs the question, right? Are the current frameworks for sustainability robust enough to measure and convey these impacts effectively? And what should be improved?
Yes, I think the issue is actually not lack of framework. In fact, there's a very dominant framework for nature for business. It's actually called the TNFD, Task Force for Nature-Related Financial Disclosure. Companies, businesses, they actually don't have to reinvent the wheel. But the problem is not many people are using a framework that's already ready, staring at them. Only 13% of all these large companies, align with the TNFD, which is the gold standard now for nature.
Okay, so gold standard for nature, that's something to take note of too. And okay, before you go, Professor, let's talk geopolitics. Right from day one of his second term, President Trump signed an executive order to pull the U.S. out of the Paris Agreement and ramp up oil and gas exploration. So how might this set back whatever global progress that has been made on climate and sustainability? What ripple effects could we see here in Asia, especially in terms of business and policy alignment and agreements?
Yes, Trump 2.0, in fact, going forward, all the big problems will start with T, Trump, tariffs, trade, technology, the 40s. And I think this, in some way, is a confluence of many actions that will cascade down to our response to sustainability, including climate, including nature. And I think there might be certain backpedaling 4 years of that or even more. But I think, having said that, I'm a little bit optimistic because, for example, in the U.S., even if the government is not taking the lead, there are many businesses which are already in the vanguard of sustainability. Companies like Microsoft, Apple, IBM, Amazon, Salesforce, or even Tesla, Elon Musk, Tesla. I mean, these are all actually pushing the envelope now. So I think there will be some counterbalancing forces, and the rest of the world, I think the momentum is already there. So even with Trump, I think on balance, we might lose something, but I think the race will still go on.
Yeah, so it's important to stay optimistic, right? And this is a timely reminder that safeguarding nature isn't just about corporate responsibility. It's vital for long-term economic sustainability as well. Thank you so much again, Professor Loh, for joining us. It's always great speaking with you.
Thank you, Audrey. Yes.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Professor Lawrence Loh, Director of the Center for Governance and Sustainability at the NUS Business School. Stay ahead with Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.